Hey friends, I am Elizabeth, I'm Aaron's wife, and he asked me to share a little bit about the elimination diet I have been working on. I have been doing low carb, low sugar for a year, 2 years, about 2 years probably, and done really well with it. I've stuck with it for the most part. For the most part. But about 18 months ago, I have been noticing that I've been having some skin issues with some rash and a lot of itching and just really uncomfortable. So it's been kind of a hot mess. And so recently I was like, I need to go to the doctor again to see what was going on. I've seen them before. They were treating it for different infections. We were treating it with steroids, all kinds of different things that I was putting onto my body, into my body to try and handle this. And frankly, just nothing really seemed to work. And we've talked about it in videos a little bit. We thought maybe it was an egg allergy. We thought maybe it was a gluten allergy. So we eliminated all of that to see where we were at. And still, I could see it getting better for a while, but no, it never fully resolved. I went to a dermatologist and they said, oh, you have bug bites. It's not bug bites. So that was helpful. And he was really just upfront with me and said, I can treat your symptoms, but I can't figure out the underlying cause. Like, I'm happy to give you the creams and the steroids and whatever else, but that's not my job. So I have a referral into an allergist that I may or may not be able to ever get into. We'll see. I did find out I have a slight peanut allergy, and that was the only one that came back with any sort of, hey, this could be a problem. So here I sit and wait. So I decided that instead of just waiting around for them to maybe get me in eventually, I needed to start doing something because it was getting out of control. Like, it was affecting how I felt, how I was presenting myself, all of that. So I have been doing nothing but beef. That's not true. I've been doing mostly beef, salt, water. I did Wagyu fat for cooking. And then I also kept coffee and heavy cream. And that's been about 22 days. It's been 22 days. And I have noticed tremendous healing in my skin. Obviously, there's not really anything that's interacting. The other day, I was drinking a cup of coffee and I noticed a flare up on my chest where I was just getting some spots and it was itching just kind of out of the blue. And so I was like, maybe we need to take coffee out too. So I researched tea a little bit because I like hot beverages. And I found a red tea that's supposed to be like a low histamine reaction. So I've been drinking that. I've been drinking salted water that's hot for the past 3 days now. No caffeine, no coffee, no cream. And I'm hoping to just kind of see where that puts me. I am finding, because I have a strong motivation, it is easier for me to stick with this. And I actually texted a friend the other day and I was just like, oh my goodness, I just want to eat the things. And she was like, no, think of your skin, which was very helpful. And so I did. And I texted her back later and said I had a steak and took a nap and I feel better now. So it has been really worth it to me to stay on this, even when it's been a little bit of a struggle. Again, Aaron is always very helpful with preparing and thinking ahead with me and for me. I had a church event, and so he made me beef jerky and essentially a pot roast that I cut up real thin and was able to eat that while I was gone. So all of the meals there, it's just like, yeah, I have my own, like, I'm good. And it wasn't awkward. Like, my friends know us well enough to know that we're doing carnivore, or he does carnivore, and I generally eat low carb anyway. And we have community group at our house, and sometimes I'll eat ground beef while they're eating whatever we're having for dinner, and nobody cares. Like, it is not a thing. And so it's been pretty good. So the point that I'm at now, I've stuck with it. I tasted some broth once from chicken, and I licked my finger once, like a couple days in, inadvertently. But those were the only 2 times I was like, great, I'm not starting over. I'm going with it. And so now I am trying to figure out how to reintroduce foods in a way that makes sense. And so initially, I had done some research on different protocols, and one thing that I read that I think is kind of the route I'm going to go is introducing the foods one at a time. They said to give it 4 days to react. So like on day 1, you eat the food and then wait 4 days to see if you have any kind of reaction. Now, I am not sure. She said in this article that I read that her doctor had said eat it on day 1, but don't eat it again for those 4 days. And then if you don't have a reaction, you can assume that's a safe food and add something else. And so that is kind of what I'm planning on. I need to see if it makes more sense to eat it like throughout those 4 days so it like builds up a little bit, or if eating it on day 1 makes the most sense. We will see. As I'm thinking through this, so for breakfast, I would typically eat like eggs blended with cream cheese and cinnamon, and I might put some blueberries on top. Like, that's 16 days to get up to a full meal. So I'm trying to prioritize. This is my goal for this week, is to sit down and think about what foods do I care about adding back in, what order doesn't make sense, because frankly, if I can't tolerate eggs, I'm never going to eat cream cheese. I don't like cheese, but I'll eat cream cheese and eggs. So, those kinds of things, like, okay, if this one's negative, I don't even need to bother with this one. But I don't want to add all 4 in at the same time, because I would still eat cinnamon and blueberries potentially without eggs. So it's fun. It's good times. So that's what I'm trying to figure out now. But I just wanted to kind of share where I'm at and where that's going, because I know we've talked about it on a couple lives. Aaron's mentioned it in a couple of his videos. I just think it's really important to remember that I don't have to wait for the allergist to call me back to heal my body. I don't have to wait for, the steroids and the creams and all the other things to do what they're supposed to do, when really, probably if I went that route, they're just masking symptoms. So would I like to eventually see an allergist to see if there's anything else underlying that I need to know about? Yes. But I'm not going to wait to get in, like, it's been a month. I'm not going to wait to get in to a doctor to take care of something that I know I can at least begin to handle now. So there's that. I'm trying to think. I don't really have any other updates. That's what I've really been focusing on. Doing it this time, I have lost 8 or 9 pounds in those 22 days. I'm assuming I'm holding a lot of water weight again, that sort of thing. I can tell the difference, like, in my collarbones, a little bit on my face. I'm like, oh, okay, well, yep, we're losing weight too. But honestly, that wasn't the goal. It's just kind of a byproduct of not eating all the things. And I would assume now that I've cut out the dairy in my coffee, like not putting the heavy cream in there, that might even kick up a little bit more. So we will see. Other than that, not a whole lot else to update on. So I will try to get on here and share more of what adding foods back in looks like, and maybe share a little bit of kind of how I am working through that. But I thought it would be good to just share kind of where I'm at right now and how things are going. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I will keep you updated. Hopefully we'll get this thing figured out. Have a good one. Kilby out.